Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Today I have an exciting recipe for you. It's fast, it's easy, but I think that your family will truly enjoy it. It's called Dreamsicle Salad. It only takes a few ingredients to make, little bit of prep time. You refrigerate it, bring it back to the table, and it's time to eat. Let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need to make this delicious recipe. You're going to need, of course, Jell-O. You can follow the package instructions. Now, as you know, I have a large family, so I'm using a larger pack of Jell-O, and I'm also using a larger pack of the vanilla pudding mix, but you would only use the smaller pack. And as always, your ingredients will be listed at the bottom of the tutorial. You're going to need some mandarin oranges, and you're going to drain the mandarin oranges. I am using some sugar, but that's optional. I like for mine to be a little bit sweeter, so I am using sugar. You don't have to do that. You can just go with the flavor of the ingredients that are actually shown. You're going to need some mini marshmallows, and you're going to need some whipping cream, or some, in this case, some Cool Whip. And that's all you're going to need to make this. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to follow the package instructions, but I'm going to show you how to really put this together. Now, not going to take you through all of the mixing process, but I will just give you a preliminary showing of what it is that I'm doing so you'll know how to do it. So I'm going to put in all of my Jell-O mix, and I'm going to follow the package instructions with the hot water. Now you're going to need to stir, because the one thing about Jell-O is that if you don't stir it correctly, if you don't allow the Jell-O to actually dissolve, it's going to have a beat it type taste, and that you don't want. So I'm going to add some boiling hot water to this. And what I'm going to do is to just stir. Now what I'm looking to do is to just dissolve this Jell-O. And I want it to totally dissolve in this hot water. That's going to take about 2 to 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to go away and allow this to dissolve. And then I'll bring it right back and we'll move on to the next ingredient. I'll be right back. Okay, now I've dissolved this into the hot water. It's taken about 2, maybe 2.5 minutes. Now at any point, whether it's the pudding mix or it was the actual Jell-O, like I told you, the sugar is optional. If you wanted to add some sugar, it's at those 2 points that you can go ahead and add it. I'm going to add my sugar in now with my Jell-O. Now because this water is so hot, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. And I'm going to allow this Jell-O just to cool. Not to preset. I'm just going to allow it to cool. And then I'll bring you back and I'll do the pudding portion of this and the other ingredients. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Okay, now I'm back, and as you can see, my Jell-O has thickened just a little bit. You've seen it start to really kind of gel itself around the edges. And it's at this point that you're going to go ahead and you're going to start to mix in your vanilla pudding. Now you want to mix this in, make sure that this is dissolved. You want to mix this in until it gets as creamy as it can be. Okay, I got it all right. So I'm gonna mix this in, and this is where your dream sickle. You know how you used to have those Dreamsicles? I think they're still selling. This is where your Dreamsicle flavor actually starts to produce itself. Okay, so you want to mix that as good as you can. Now once this, I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator for probably about another 15-20 minutes. And then when I bring you back, I'm going to fold in the marshmallows and the Cool Whip. And this is going to be a scrumptious dessert. It's easy to make. Not a lot of prep time. Most of your time is spent with it being in the refrigerator. Okay, so I'm going to blend this up for about another minute. And then when I get it, blended up whereas you don't see any of those side, see how you see a little bit of the side places where the actual pudding mix has not dissolved. I'm going to bring you back and I'll show it to you before I put it back in the refrigerator. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm getting ready to refrigerate this, but I want you to look at it. My Jell-O has dissolved, and so has my pudding mix. So it's at this point that you want to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and allow it just to mold together a little bit more. I just want to show you that, and I'll bring you back in about 20 minutes. All right. Okay, so I have some cold water here, and I got my water a little bit colder than faucet water because it doesn't come out as cold. Now you can do this before you put in the pudding mix, or you can do it after you put in the pudding mix. Now you only want to put half of your packaged ingredients of water, if that makes sense. So what I'm actually saying is, if it calls for whatever package of Jell-O you use, whether it's the large one or the small one, and whatever package of pudding mix that you use, really, you only want to put half of the water. So if it calls for 2 cups of water, you only want to put 1 cup of water. Now that's only on the pudding mix. On the Jell-O mix, you want to use the exact package instructions. Got it? Okay. Okay, now I'm back, and as you can see, this has gelled together a little bit. See it? So now is the perfect time for me to go ahead and add the mandarin oranges. You want to drain it as much as you can, although the first can that I had was not drained as much, but you want to drain it. Okay, then you want to mix this in. Then the next step you want to add is you want to add in your whipped topping. Doesn't matter which one you use. Now, your instructions will be for 1 small package of pudding mix and Jell-O. Mine is a little bit more healthier because, as I told you, you know that I have a large family. So you want to make certain that when you put it in, you're putting enough of each ingredient in order to match what it is that you have in your bowl as far as your Jell-O and your pudding mix is concerned, if that makes sense. So once you get that in, now you're going to refrigerate this, and you can do this early. If you're having guests or if you're having a cookout, no matter what you're doing, do this ahead of time. And then allow it to just sit in the refrigerator and allow all of the flavors to just marinate together until it's time for your affair. Okay? Now I like whipping cream, I like whipped cream, so I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay. Now that's not necessary. You want to make certain that all of your ingredients are equal to how much Jell-O and pudding mix you have when you start. Now once you get that in, the next ingredient you want to add is you want to add your marshmallows. Okay? And all of that is based on how much of each ingredient that you like. I like marshmallows, so you'll see me add just a little bit more. Okay? So there. Okay. Now it actually calls for 1 cup of marshmallows for 1 small container of Jell-O. That's what it calls for. But you can always deviate with your recipes. Okay? Now that really looks good. and it really tastes good as well. And this is where you get your dreamsicle taste from. You get it from your pudding mix and your Jell-O. Now this is ready. So what you want to do is you want to put this back in your refrigerator and allow it to sit until it's time for you to serve it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And at the end of the video, of course, I'm going to post a picture. I already have my glasses sitting off to the side. And at the end of the video, I'm going to post a picture of this. So what I'll do is I'll fill up these glasses and I'll come back and tell you bye and happy eating. I'll be right back. Okay, there you have it. Chris is making Dreamsicle Salad. I think that if you try this recipe, you're truly going to enjoy it. It's fast, it's easy, it's quick, but it's very, very good. And I think that if you're doing any kind of group outing or something that's large, this should be your go-to. Remember, it's only 10 minutes of prep time. The rest is refrigeration time. But I think that your guests will be talking about this and they will want it at every gathering. So make sure that you try this, and in the comment section, let me know how you enjoy it. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye. Please follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Chris Cook for you too. And don't forget to share this video. Bye.